address much later, actually not, or didn't address that, was not addressed much until the later part of the semester. But this semester, I decided to bring this earlier. So you will see the composition of function more closely, even though I mentioned this last semester, I didn't mention this much. But anyway, composition of function is basically, let's see, did I put on a recording? Yes. The composition of function. So I'm gonna, just talk about the composition of function. There's adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. These four, which are typically pretty straightforward to do. And for number 16, right? Number 16, you see this a G composite G, right? G composite G of X, right? This parentheses actually is optional. You can have it, but you don't have to have it. Okay, so you don't have to have it. Okay, the power of composition is demonstrated in this process. Okay, you guys are good with adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, right? Well, if you have questions, feel free to ask me. So let's look at the composition. Composition, you can see these layers of function, right? So how is it being defined? You see when you compose by two functions, right? Two functions, you will have like, you see f of g. So this time we take this one function and compose it. And we have g, okay, of g of x. Okay, that's how you read it. That's how you read it. And what does it mean? Okay, what it means? It means that you have a function and you repetitively using the same rule. Okay, we repetitively using the same rule. And the same rule is G. Okay, the same rule is G. But how do we use it, right? Each time we produce an output, right? So X was the initial input, and being applied the rule to it, we get G of X. And in turn, we take G of X and use that as input to the next time using G, the rule of G. Okay, and then it produces another output. So this second round, the output is a consequencing of using the output of the first time, and it produces another output. And this guy, okay, after it's been produced, the output is going to be used as input again. Okay, and produces the third layer. Okay, so that's I would say the flow chart. Okay, I use the word flow chart, borrowed from computer science, because that's exactly what happens. Okay, so let's see what is a mathematical effect, and which is also what is the programming. If you do this kind of flow chart, you do programming, you're going to see the same effect. Okay, so let's see the first round, right? That's pretty straightforward. And we have G here, right? G is here. So when we do this piece, the output, okay, okay, in specific, in this situation, the output is 3x minus 2. Okay, Now 3x minus 2 is going to be used as input for G. So 3x minus 2 will be used as, so when we get to this piece, the mathematical expression would be equals to G of 3x minus 2. Do you follow me? Because this part is already finished. We got 3x minus 2. And now 3x minus 2 will be used as input. So now we're looking at G of 3x minus 2. If G of x is 3x minus 2, what is G of 3x minus 2? You guys follow me? G of 3x minus 2 is saying, okay, this input is being replaced entirely by 3x minus 2. So view this input x here as a box. It's just a placeholder. Okay, it's a placeholder. So when this box replaced by x, that's what it is. So x is just a symbol, it's a placeholder. So when this x is replaced by 3x minus 2, the entire box, this box and that box will be replaced by 3x minus 2. So the consequence will be 3 times the box. And that, what's in the box? 3x minus 2. Minus 2. Does everybody follow me?
Yes.
This is the effect of a composition. This is the effect of composition. As a result, if you simplify, you opened up the parentheses, you get 9x minus 6 minus 2, you're going to get 9x minus 8. Okay, so the second round, right? The output is 9x minus 8. Now, what do we have now? Mathematically, what we have now is the G of, we already got a G of 3x minus 2. G of 3x minus 2 is what? 9x minus 8. You guys follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and next, this 9x minus 8 is going to be used as input. And this input is going to go through the same rule, which is the last layer. Okay, of course, you can keep this layer going for 10 times, 20 times. Okay, so now what is G of 3? So now we're going to look at G of 9x minus 8. The mechanism is the same. The mechanism is the same. Okay, G of the box is just a placeholder. So now that box is replaced by 9x minus 8. Therefore, it's just going to be 3 times 9x minus 8 minus 2. Okay, and if you opened up the parentheses and combine the terms and so on and so forth, you get 27x minus 24, 24 minus 2, that's 26. So in the end, the last layer, the consequence would be what? What would that be? You guys see that? 27x minus 26. So in the end, this is what we got. 3 layers. This is the flow chart, right? And you can see we just keep substituting, keep substituting the input. So this notation, Okay, so the function notation, it's very, very important. Okay, you will see the same notation actually in programming. You actually see the same notation in programming. Okay, and mathematically, that's all you have to do. But this is what's going on if you write a program. Okay, so keeping using the same rule with different function, especially with the input, the output from previous usage, and just keep substituting the input with whatever input you have chosen so that you'll get different consequences. So that's how you do number 16. Got it?
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Do you think you can do 14?
Sure. 14. Okay, the same two functions, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same two functions. Fourteen is asking us to do G of f of 2. Okay. Now, how is this defined? It's defined as G of f of 2. So what do? We got G, we got F, right? We got G, we got F. So we always start from inside out, f of 2, right? We have f of x. So f of 2, what will be f of 2? F of 2. F of 2 will be replacing the input by 2 squared. So f of 2 would be 4. G of 4. This is G of x, right? G of 4 would just be 4, and that's 4. So in the end, you get 3 times 4 minus 2, and that's a 10. That's how you do it. You don't have to show these p's actually. This is just, you know, on scratch paper. That's what you do. In effect, in programming, in the flow chart, okay, what you do is that you have an input of 2. Input 2 is given to F, right? Input 2 is given to F. Okay, it produces an output, F of 2. And this output is in turn being used as input for G and G of F of 2. Okay, so numerically, after F is being used, right, what do we get? We get 4, right? So 4 used as input to G. So in the end, we got 10. Oh, sorry. So this is 10. Okay, this is arrow, and this is 10. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to show the flow chart. Okay, I show the flow chart because this composition function is always the same way. They're all the same way. Okay, the more you see it, soon enough, you don't have to do these flow chart. You don't have to do all of these. You just do this straight. That's it. That's all you need to show. This is all you need to show mathematically. We're in the math class, right? You do it from inside out. You do it from inside out. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
Sorry, but would it be possible for you to do number 10 as well? And then I think that would be it.
No problem. Of course, no worries. You don't need to apologize. I'm happy to do it for you. Okay, 10 division, right? So we have these two functions still. I just bring them with us, right? For my convenience of illustration, right? Number 10, what we have here is division. F divided by G of 2. Okay. How is this defined? This is defined as F of 2 divided by G of 2, right? That was defined in basic 41, right? Or you can find it in any textbook. Okay, so you're gonna go ahead to find F of 2, G of 2, right? So F is such, so F of 2 would be replacing the input by 2, so 2 squared. Okay, which is 4. And G of 2, right? G of 2, you replace the input by 2. And that's a 4. Right? So then you can go back there. Well, you can just do that directly here. You can actually do it directly here. Okay. For example, F of 2, I can just write it as 2 squared. And over here, I can just write it as 3 times 2 minus 2, right? And simplify. Doesn't this look like something some expression you've seen before, right? And that's going to be 4 over 4 equals to 1. Any other questions?
No,
Anybody?
that's it. Thank you.
No problem. Anybody else? Please feel free to ask questions. All right. Okay, then you can stop me anytime. So we're going to continue from where we left off yesterday. So now I'm going to stop this piece of recording and I'm going to make this question session of